Hi guys, Paul here. And boy, July was a heck of a month. So let's wrap it up and move on to something better. And just to get it out of the way, yes, the medicine is taking effect. My eyes and ears are about 90% better. The wounds on my face are no longer infected and are healing. And that's part of the problem when you have a big nose is it gets in the way of everything. So hopefully that's the last time I ever have to mention it and be done with it. Thank you. So let's talk about what I read this month. Like I said, let's wrap it up and be done with it. So I read Chopper Cops 1 and 2 and The Mechanic, the first book in the John Tyler series. And I was going to do those as a ink and ammo segment, but I kind of ran out of time. And if I get it in the future, if I get inspired to, I might go back and put it together into a video anyway. But I'll give you a kind of a mini review now since I did finish them. So Chopper Cops by Michael Kastner. It's a 4-book series. Came out originally in paperback in 1990, and he died after that, and the books went out of print. But apparently somebody decided to put him back into print, and to mixed results, because one of the things they did was they put his books up on Audible, and they used an AI voice. And that's how I listened to the first book, was through that. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And it was because somebody had done that to his books and put it through an AI voice. And it was just terrible. And I didn't think it was fair to judge the book by that. So I went on to read book 2. And I enjoyed it a lot more. Like I said, the first one I read was Chopper Cops Northwest Inferno. And it was basically about terrorists who stole a nuclear weapon, and these helicopter police had to recover it. Simplifying, of course. And the second one was Gulf Attack, which involved terrorists attacking oil platforms. So like I said, I read the first one as I listened to it as an audiobook, and it was just terrible. And I didn't feel that it was fair to judge him, what they did to him on Audible. So I went on and read the second one, which I enjoyed a great deal more. But the basic premise is that crime got out of control, and the president signed a bill creating a new crime fighting unit that was based around these advanced helicopters, the Blue Thunder type helicopters. So what you have is a action movie involving advanced helicopters fighting crime. And in the first two I read, they were actually fighting terrorists. These books are like what you'd get if you were making a direct-to-video or direct-to-streaming action movie. And they're not bad. They're fun, goofy books. They're just mindless action. And if you want that, they fill a role. They are free on Kindle Unlimited or on Audible. I don't suggest the Audible, as I stated. There are 4 books in the series. Like I said, I read the first 2. And like I said, they're just fun, mindless action books. If you want something goofy and just action-oriented, these might be the books that will scratch that itch. The funny thing is, though, the author, Michael Kastner, apparently is a really unique and memorable guy. When he died, he was literally buried in a Roman tribunal uniform. And like I said, if I do a video, a book, an ink and ammo involving these, I'll give more details. I'm just giving you a quick overview right now. And I was going to do that alongside the first book in the John Tyler series called The Mechanic. This is a series written by Tim Fowler. It's similar to Jack Reacher. It's that kind of story, and it feels a lot more like a thriller, the first one, than an action book. And I did feel that this would be very good going forward. This was a setup book, and I thought going forward, if you're into that kind of story, if you're into that kind of book where you have a protagonist who's defending the innocent and, an ex-military operative working in the real world, being the good guy, this might be something that's worth checking out in the future. As I said, the first book was really well written. The writer is really good at what he does. I just felt that this book could have benefited from a little more action. Like I said, I feel this is a setup book, and think if you're a Jack Reacher type fan, that this book will really work for you. I think that in the future, the story will really ramp up. And if you're a car guy, that's one of the added benefits. Is there's kind of little Easter eggs that would make a car person kind of like eyebrows perk up. It was enjoyable. If I get a chance, I still may do a deep dive on these and do the ink and ammo segment. I'm just not sure if I'm going to get to it because how delayed everything got. But in any case, yeah, Chopper Cops 1 and 2 and The Mechanic. I also read at the beginning of the month Edward S. Aaron's Cat's Paw Ordeal. I did a hard-boiled bookcase review of this. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. Edward S. Aarons is a completely underrated author who needs to be rediscovered and read by more people. Old or not, the guy really, really knows what he's doing. Really enjoyed it. I also read Sand and Steel by T.M. Brandt, Tim of Secret Fire Books, and Dark Matter from John Chapman, otherwise known as Jim from News from the Gelding. And I just did, this might be yesterday, put up a review for both those books. So check that out. Go back. Both absolutely fantastic books. Highly recommend. I am utterly in shock at how good these books were and how much talent this corner of BookTube has. There are painters and musicians and authors, and I'm absolutely just blown away by how talented this little corner of BookTube is. Just seriously, just some great stuff. After years of looking for it, I finally found and read Tim Lucas's Throat Sprockets. There will probably be a review coming up for this, along with another book I read, another horror book. I'm going to do them together. Maggie's Grave by David Sodergren. So I'm hoping to get a review done for both of those in the near future, some point in August, and get it up. Reviews are hard, but I'm hoping to get a bunch of them done and up from stuff I read because I was so far behind this month. But I'm going to do those together as a horror bound in red segment, whereas that's starting in August. So Throat Sprockets and Maggie's Grave. I also read Solomon's Vineyard, which was part of PI July for Mystery and Mayhem's PI July segment. I read that as the first prompt, the older book. Really enjoyed that. The plan going forward is to do a review of that on the Hardboiled Bookshelf. It deserves a review, so that's another review that I'm going to try and get to in August and hopefully get up. Really enjoyed that book. Another really good older detective novel. So hopefully I'll get that up for you. And for the other part of PI July, I was reading The Vinyl Detective. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it. I didn't make it all the way through. Hopefully I'll finish it soon and be done with that. Like I said, as you probably know if you've been on the channel, everything got a little screwed up this month. So I'm behind, but most of the way through this. I'll talk about it later. I also finally finished Atomic Werewolves and Man-Eating Plants. Because it's a short story collection, as you may have heard me say, I take forever to read those, and I was already behind this month, and I finally finished it. So much fun, so fantastic. And this is part of the Men's Adventure Library collection. Get a chance to pick it up if you like short stories from old pulp magazines. These were a lot of fun. Check it out. I also finished Midnight on the Potomac, which is a nonfiction book about the last year of the Civil War and the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. And I didn't love it, and I thought I did it as audiobook as well. I didn't feel that the audio narration on that was very good at all. The book was okay. Its benefit, its big pull for me was it gave a whole lot of information on the plot leading up to the assassination of Lincoln. I didn't know there was so much behind what Booth was doing and the conspirators he had and the plans that they had been making. It goes way deeper than just him getting shot in the theater. There is an interesting story there. That was the best part of the book. I suggest if that's something you're interested in, the book will work for you. If you want more on the other parts of the Civil War, maybe you look elsewhere. But the James Wilkes Booth stuff, that was pretty well done. That was pretty interesting and pretty in-depth. But I'd suggest maybe you pick up the book from the library or buy it. The audio narration didn't really work for me. I also finished Solo Leveling number 11. Always enjoyable. My favorite manga, manhwa in this case, Korean versus Japanese. And I finished Saga Volume 12, and I honestly don't know if I'm going to continue any further with this. The first 10 were really good. The last 2 have been disappointing. After a main character death, things kind of fell off for me. I'm a big fan of Brian K. Vaughan, which is, by the way, why I keep messing up Michael K. Vaughan and I was saying Brian because I've been reading Michael K. Vaughan, Brian K. Vaughan's graphic novels, comics for years, so it throws me. I apologize to him and Brian and everyone else for making that mistake repeatedly. But yeah, I think I'm done with Saga. Read 12 volumes, and I haven't enjoyed the last 2. It just kind of lost its momentum for me. So I'm probably going to be done and maybe even get rid of the first 12. But yeah, so that about covers what I've read for the month. It isn't a great deal, but it's been a very trying month, as some of you may know. 1 second. So the mailman just showed up with some packages. Maybe I'll do this as a video. Maybe I'll open these live. Maybe I'll do that as a video. I got to make some material for while I'm at Pulp Fest. Maybe I'll make that and shoot it and do it like next week, a week from now. You know, because I'm not sure I'll have material for Monday. I'm sure I'll have a book haul from Pulp Fest after that, but maybe I'll do that for fun. So going forward, what am I going to do in August on the channel? August will start the official Horror Bound in Red segment and the Werewolf Project going forward. And I will do the Sci-Fidelity. So you'll be getting my science fiction read. And I know those are coming up for the month. So for August, Horror Bound in Red, I'll be reading Luke Scull's Hostel. He's a fantasy author who's doing his first horror book, and it sounds absolutely fascinating. Can't wait to get into it. And for the Werewolf Project, I'll be starting with John Ferris's High Bloods. And for next month's Ink and Ammo, to make sure I get something done for it next month, I'm going to do DC Jones, Adventure Command International by Jim Beard. It's a collection of short stories that evolve around a G.I. Joe-like character, superhero, man of adventure, however you want to call it. And I'm looking forward to getting into this. Beard, I guess, is going to be at Pulp Fest, so maybe I can pick up some more of his books. This just looks like so much fun. I want to get it done. At least this, maybe add something else in for Ink and Ammo. As far as what I'm going to do for the hard-boiled bookshelf, I haven't decided yet, but there will be an old school book on there. And I want to make an attempt again to get to my Lost Library section, this unheard of book, Lift Off at Satan by Richard Butler. And I'm going to make an attempt to get to that for August. So hold me to it. If you want to see a book that nobody's ever heard of be reviewed. Because I know how much you must love hearing about books that nobody's ever heard of before. On top of that, there will be a sci-fi book. I haven't picked it out quite yet. I have some ideas. So I'm going to do, definitely put a sci-fi read on there. And like I said, there will be an old school, hard-boiled type book that will be on there as well. So look forward to that. And that'll be what I go, at least what I know I'm going to be going forward with in August. And there will be a book haul from Pulp Fest most likely, along with my regular book hauls. So look forward to that. So that was July, quick and dirty in a nutshell. And I hope you join me for August, because I have a lot more planned for August than I was able to accomplish in July. And hopefully it'll be a lot more fun. And I'm looking forward to getting back to reading and reviewing and doing all the good stuff. So I really would love you to be there. Please come back, take a look, see what we got going on. Be here for Sci-Fidelity, for the Horror Bound in Red and the Werewolf Project. All this going forward, as well as the Ink and Ammo and the hard-boiled bookshelf segments of Ink and Ammo. So come on back and take a look at what we have to offer for August. There will probably be more to read than what I actually showed you. I just haven't picked it out yet. I haven't picked out a graphic novel or a manga either, so I definitely have more to add to this coming up. Just haven't planned well for this month. Like I said, hopefully August, more organized, more focused, more fun. Come on back. Like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you so much. Remember, the secret to Zen: read books, pet dogs, listen to metal. And I hope to see you back again. Thank you.